Hello, every pony. I am Venomous Pine. You guys know me full well as the Pinkie Pie of the group, and welcome to another episode of Bronimaniacs Discuss Season Finale. I am joined with me today, our Twilight Sparkle of the group, Mr. Sharpwit.
You shall not leave this place.
Don't creep me.
Get away from here, stalker.
Hold on.
One shadow.
Oh my.
We have our Sunset Shimmer, which is Crimson.
Hello, every pony and every dragon. Finale here, and dragon up for everything.
Yep. Our Coco Pamel, Mr. Scapegoat.
Hey everyone.
Our Starlight, which is Neon Blade.
What's up, all?
We have our Trixie, which is David.
Hello, every pony. This is it. We made it.
And we have our Maud Pie, which is Little Looney.
Hey, can some pony pick up my jaw off the floor?
I'll do that later.
And,
I don't feel like doing it right now.
and lastly, but certainly not least, we have ourselves a special guest. Please welcome our longtime friend, Drizzle.
Hiya, it's nice to be here.
Yeah,
We're glad to have you here.
in case you haven't figured it out, the episode we'll be covering today will be Shadow Play, aka the Season 7 finale.
AKA Epic!
Yeah, boy.
Amen to that.
Hey,
Look on my headphones.
Jeff.
And for this Saturday night, the season finale.
Yeah. Alright, so, but this time, but you know the usual deal. But this time we're gonna do something a bit special. For this episode, we will be talking our negatives first. Then we will do our positives in reverse order. We'll go random on the negatives, but on the positives we'll go in reverse. And then we will give up on the ratings because there is something I really want to say that will be a suitable end for the positives.
Yee.
So with that being said, for our negatives, I shall go first. Okay, what negatives do I find in this episode? I only found 2 negatives and all of them are just nitpicks. But, I'm supposed to get the, thing out of the way here. Am I the only one that found the scenes where the main 6 had to find the objects appear a tad bit rushed?
I can see where you're coming from with this, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I thought
understandable.
I mean,
At least for a few of them now.
yeah, I mean, what the scenes with Applejack was pure gold. I love how Rainbow
Yeah.
Dash totally owned Garble.
Oh, yeah.
Without time.
And I
Booyah, Dashi!
and,
Yep.
and I found one with Rarity to be actually very sweet.
I agree.
Also, in Applejack scene, who noticed Indiana Jones' pony?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him, I saw him.
Right away.
yeah, that's not
Right away.
But with Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie, they're like, okay, they're just there. Even though
Well, I actually had that more with Pinkie Pie, to be honest. In Fluttershy's case, I mean, to be honest, sometimes problems like these with the animals can be easily fixed like that. So I'm actually okay with that one.
yeah,
Pinkie?
Fluttershy I can buy.
Huh.
Yeah, Pinkie's appear really rushed. But
Yeah,
then-
especially how she takes that piece of cloth in her mouth up, even though it was in pure acid.
you can argue that since the acid was drained, it was starting to cool down.
Yee.
Yeah, true, but still. Ugh.
Plus, it's Pinkie Pie. Don't question it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pinkie Pie logic.
I always get reminded on this.
The power of bullshit compels you.
Actually, actually, you know what that reminds me of?
Huh?
It reminds me of when in the season 4 finale, when Twilight was reconnecting with the journal, and Riverdance was about to announce the time when she got her rainbow key, but then Pinkie Pie just randomly jumps in and just skips rainbows entirely.
Mhm.
I think the same thing applies with this one. I mean, Pinkie Pie obviously knows what's some Nebula since Danny Dunn. It's like, okay, even Josh Abel thought that that episode was pure shit. So we're just gonna glance over it.
Probably.
Same thing with Rainbow Falls. It's like, yeah, even Megan McCarthy knew that Rainbow Falls was terrible.
That
So
speaks volume.
so skip. even though that episode can't be skipped. But that's beside the point. But yeah, aside from like several of those scenes were really good, but others were felt a tad bit rushed. It's not a deal breaker for me. It's not a deal breaker for me. It's only a nitpick, but it's just something that I've noticed. So that being said, I'll pass it off to. You know what? I'll pass it off to you, Drizzle.
Oh, my negative, right?
Yep, just one
Well, my
thing.
negative was Star Swirl's attitude towards Twilight. She had good intentions, so I don't see. It seemed a little unnecessary.
That's debatable. I mean, throughout the entire thing, I got the impression that Twilight was acting very giddy about this and didn't really think things through just because she wanted to meet her idol. But I do have a counter argument for that, though. Okay, so if you sacrifice yourself to be trapped in limbo for at least 1,000 years, and then suddenly you eventually get released alongside the enemy you're trying to defeat just because someone is fangirling over you, wouldn't you be a tad bit ticked off?
Yeah, I would be, I guess. But I mean, the joy would be to meet my idol, no?
Still.
Yeah. There were some moments where Twilight really got given the cold shoulder.
About that limbo part, I'm probably gonna have my 2 bits on it. But that's when it comes to me.
So, yeah, I mean, it was only implied that Star Swirl never really understood the concept of the magic of friendship. It's been established since the season 3 finale. It's the reason why he couldn't finish up the spell when Twilight could.
True, but but honestly, that he has been that dense, that even surprises me.
Yeah, typical for old masters. So you got anything else there, Drizzle?
I think I'm it. Should I pass it off to someone else?
Yes, you may.
I want to hear what Neon has to say.
Well, to be honest, my negative is more like a personal negative, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Well, not directly personal. It's a little bit hard to explain.
Okay.
And that's actually just the fact how Starlight was kind of like pushed aside for her past. Truth to be told, I can understand from a plot point where they're coming from. Nothing against that. I can completely understand it. But for me, on a personal level, trust me, if I would have been in that room, I would have jumped Star Swirl. And I don't even care if he's the Grandmaster of Magic or anything. Fuck it, I would have jumped in just for that comment alone. No offense, but that was actually my personal negative, to be honest. Just like how dense he is.
I can see where you're coming from.
He was a bit of a footy-duddy.
Yeah, I would trust me. If I would have stand in that room or in the corridor next outside of it, and he would come next to me, I would like, Star Swirl, I don't bloody care how much of a wizard you are. I don't care about your standpoint right now. But if you speak like that to my friend, then come at me, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
I would do that. I would do that. Trust me. Not even as my OC, but in real life as well. Just
Understandable.
for the fact that someone is talking someone down just because for the past.
Yeah, and
I would-
if that would be your OC, that would be more gory, bloody.
Oh, it would be. It would be. I think that would be one of the few times I would actually use my sword.
Hey, Leon, wanna bet who would make more damage to him? You or me? You or me?
Depends. What's the bet?
500,000 cash.
I was actually thinking about betting that Gara part you have.
Since when do we become the gamble?
Technically, I have 2 Gara parts now.
Anyways, back on topic.
Yeah, but still, that's actually the only nitpick I have. So far, it was nothing which I had really that standed out as a big negative, but just like that, I actually had to clench my fist for a second when I hear that line. To be honest, really, I'm not joking in that point.
Anyway,
Well-
who do you pass it off to?
Let's see. Well, Looney, take it away.
Alright. Instead of telling them my only negative towards this otherwise grand episode is a nitpick, there's very little I can actually find wrong with it.
So it's technically like.
That said, my question is this. If the Pony of Shadows was locked away in limbo, along with the pillars for thousands of years, how was he foreshadowed at the end of Castlemania?
Yeah,
Well, technically, he was roaming around before he was trapped in limbo, so there's a possibility someone could actually notice his presence. Not to mention, there is a comic arc in the main comic line of MOP that is actually canon to the show, and it's a prequel to this episode.
Sharp, I think you take that little mistake there.
Why?
What about the episode where the main six were in that castle at the end scene?
I know, but there is also another foreshadowing in the comic line, and those that are canon.
Yeah, but the entrapment of the limbo actually happened before the show, so that doesn't make any sense.
You can argue that
Why?
you can argue that there's still pieces of the Pony of Shadows left in the
No. Why does that make sense? Actually, that actually makes many sense. That it happened a long time ago. So in Pony of Shadow it wasn't like Pony of Shadow appeared, boom, limbo. He was roaming around for like days, weeks, or maybe months. So maybe some pony actually noticed him besides pillars. So sorry, mate, but someone couldn't notice him and make the legend.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from.
Oh, okay.
But I think we can definitely say it's not the entirety of the Shadow Pony.
Well, that's the legend. They're not telling the truth. That's the difference between legend and history.
True that. You were saying,
I mean,
Looney?
that's a very minor little complaint, but it makes absolutely no sense to me. It's like a continuity error.
Well, to be honest, that's actually a continuity error I can live with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say this is continuity error.
Continuity errors bug me.
I can live with that though. I can live with that one.
And
though.
that's definitely one I noticed.
Hey, at least it's not as big of as a continuity error as in the Destiny 2 play game. Sorry, but I had to
Right over my
point this
head.
out, Destiny fans.
Yeah, shots fired.
Warframe's still better.
That's what he said now.
Anyways, you got anything else, Looney?
That's it.
Alright, who to pass it off to?
Let's hear what Crimson has to say.
Crimson?
Probably not much.
I'm right here.
There he is.
Sorry, have Wolf Dragon here. It just was on mute for a bit.
Well then.
Not a problem.
Alright. So, what were we on? Positive or negs?
Dex.
Negative.
Negative.
Alright. Hey. Alright. I think it's time to get this off my chest about a pony that I was talking shit about.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Frickin' Star Swirl.
Thank you, you took my negative.
Hey. Oh.
Well,
Okay.
I technically said it as well in my part, but it's more like on mine with a personal nitpick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is a nitpick, but it's also a negative as well. This dude was just so focused on getting rid of the shadow that was torturing everybody, and a certain pony who was also being helpful. At least, like, he saw the danger of the sirens, aka that is now confirmed to Equestria Girls.
Oh yeah, we'll be getting to that.
My life was a lie this whole time.
Christopher Girls Cannon, you heard it here first, folks.
There, it's okay.
Continue.
Oh god, now I have the picture with Will and Josh in my head and from the bloopers with the there.
Alright, now to prove my point about that, the way how Star Swirl the Bearded was talking and thinking, and his attitude was definitely off.
Yeah, it was more of a prideful thing than more than anything. And
I can see where you come with this, but to be fair, he did stuck 1,000 of year in limbo, which is technically a time freeze as well. So
exactly.
in that regard, it's actually
Yeah, I
kind of
can
like with
tell them.
Luna when she was trying to reconnect with society. So in a way,
I will have to say something about that actually.
Go ahead.
okay.
But that will when it comes to my negative actually.
Oh, okay.
You teaser, you. No, but back to what I was saying. I can see at least in terms of ideology and everything that it's still stuck in his head. That's why I said in my personal negative, it's just like the assault against Starlight.
Starlight was giving out some good. There was some good points that Starlight was given, and Star Swirl just like kind of brushed it off because he was focused on the main task at hand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I can see where he's in this disturbing line of sight.
Wait a minute.
But
Wait a minute. Starswell constantly brushes Starlight aside. The Wolstenator? Are you trying to say something? There's my new headcanon. Starswell the Bearded is the Wolstenator in disguise.
Yep.
Oh, shot fired.
that is actually a little bit late since he actually said he does like Starlight now.
Oh, well, that joke still stands.
Yeah, kind of does.
The way
Well,
you sounded defeated there for a second.
Well, that also depends what he will say in this week's podcast.
That's true.
Oh boy.
But back on topic.
But in the end of the episode itself, now managed to what friendship really means, and he owes everybody a big apology.
Yeah, he even said that.
That's actually the reason why I can forgive Starlight's portrayal in the episode a bit.
Starswell, you mean?
Yeah, sorry. Too many stars!
Hey, count me for that one as well because I am Star.
I guess we got kind of starstruck there for a second.
It's a good thing I didn't name my OC Storm like I started to.
I am guest starring.
Well, I guess
Does
you have.
this mean there will be a Star versus with Equestria Girls?
I can actually see that for a second now, to be honest.
Oh goodness gracious!
Anyway.
All right, I think that's the end of my negative before I blow a gasket.
I think I'm seeing stars.
Here come the star puns.
But that happened.
At least it'll be the finale where we get to hear your intercom one last time.
Maybe.
Okay, thanks for getting that announcement of our podcast.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Bye.
Womp. Anyway,
That's all, folks.
anyway,
On with it.
yeah.
Alright.
Sorry.
Who hasn't went yet or who's still available?
If I may go now to expand a little bit.
And throw my arms over. Sharp, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm also on board with the whole the Starswell being the negative because he's way too arrogant, way too egotistic, way too prideful. And some might say, but he was stuck in limbo for 1,000 years, and that's why he is. Newsflash: he was like this before limbo, because if he wouldn't, he would thought about the other way to deal with the Pony of Shadow, or maybe, I don't know, talk with the what was his name? Stygian?
Yes,
Stygian before immediately casting him away.
Which was pretty stupid, and he also cast himself away along with the others.
Yeah, exactly. Because if he would actually get his pride away and actually think about it, like I said, either he would think about other solution that does include sending all of them into limbo, or even better, he would talk with Stygian instead of assuming the worst from him and casting him away. Because basically, this whole situation, it's your fault, Starswell.
Well, to be fair, Shuffler, it's been established very early on, like since season 3, that Starswell never truly understood the magic of friendship, even before he trapped himself in limbo.
Well, maybe, but still, that doesn't excuse him for not listening to people, only to himself.
That may be true, but like I said, it's been established early on that that was the case. So this isn't a new thing from him.
And still, that the whole how arrogant and prideful Starswell is hit me the most when Starlight throw into Twilight's face. Good things, like I don't know, I can't quote exactly, but that was the line, like, good thing Starswell wasn't around when you befriended me, because he would immediately throw me away to limbo. That's when his ego hit me the most, pretty much. Not just because I like Starlight, but just because of the impact that line had, considering her past.
Yeah, I gotta admit, that did make me a bit sad when she said that. Because if you really think about it, she's kind of right.
And besides, Yuka saying that Stas would never understand the magic of friendship. You don't actually need to be friends with someone to listen to people.
Good point.
I mean, it's better to be friend, but you actually don't have to listen to people. I mean, there are pretty much the jobs in the real world that require you to listen to people and not befriending them. For example, therapists.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I can't argue with that.
Well, and that point I can at least say from personal experience that is not entirely true, because
Not entirely, but
yeah, because in my case, when I was talking to a therapist and I said one keyword, then they immediately throw me the paper for the next mental hospital to throw me in. So yeah, so much for listening. Like I said, it's only from personal experience.
yeah, but I was speaking in general, not in particular cases. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much my negative. Starswell, no. He can be a Grandmaster of Magic, Granddad or Magic or whatever his official title is. He is still a butthole.
Don't you mean a flank hole?
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Damn it.
More PG.
Plot hole.
Dang it, Ian, you stole my joke. I was just gonna say that.
I think there's a huge hole in this logic.
Except you're welcome.
Gosh darn it.
Sorry.
But anyways,
Why are we all doing a whole lot of puns?
who you pass it off to, Sharp?
Yeah, who's left? David and
Scapegoat.
Yeah, David and Scapegoat are left.
Yep.
okay, you go Scapegoat.
Okay. Let me think of one. I think that I'd say that I kind of wish some of the other heroes had a slight bit more time compared to what Swirl had.
You mean Swirl Star? I mean Star Swirl?
Yeah,
Thanks.
Star Swirled.
Thank you for reminding me on that.
But by the way, that was a really funny line.
I will remind you next time I put something in your floof, buddy.
I just
Continue.
felt like for maybe like I forget the Egyptian one's name.
Some Nebula?
She didn't seem to
Best pillar.
say much of anything compared to some of them, or some of them seemed
Hmm.
like they could have said a bit more. I don't know.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean, Scapegoat.
It seemed like Star Swirl had most of the time compared to the rest of the pillars.
Yeah, to be fair, his role has been established since pretty much day one.
Yeah.
So, with that kind of build-up, you kind of expect something out of him.
Yeah. I know that Swirled, when they were talking, was a bit of a butt, but I sort of feel it kind of gives a good message that sometimes even people's greatest heroes aren't always these perfect idols that you think they'll be, too.
Well, we already have that kind of lesson plenty of times in the show. Rainbow Dash with the Wonderbolts, anyone?
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
Which one of Bolt's episode? There's plenty of them.
Call
Yes.
them Rainbow Crash.
Everyone.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Is it? Can we establish real quick that we can make the hashtag Triggered Shop?
Yeah, that's all.
Let's see if I can get that trending on Twitter.
That's all I
No,
really have
if
to say.
if you make a trend, make a trend on Twitter, then make Triggered Shoppy.
Anyway, so, you got anything else, Scapegoat?
No, just the others seemed like they could have said a little bit more.
Alright,
So I'll pass it to Twi Sparkle.
so that means you, David.
Wow. Just listening to all you guys talk about these issues at hand and listening to the input is just absolutely amazing. The negative for this episode, like I said, this two-parter finale was absolutely amazing. Just blew my mind. I have actually not really negatives either. I didn't go through the episode and say, well, this is a problem. I did not have any problem with the episode, but I do have, a nitpick. The nitpick was that the pillars were the focus on the episode, and my nitpick is that, it was too crowded. I mean, I get it that the main six were also involved in the episode, and I couldn't keep track of a lot of the things that were happening in the episode because there was so many characters in this finale. And isn't that like every finale? They have to put as much character development in the finales and the premieres as possible.
Hmm.
And it's really hard to keep track of sometimes. It's like, well, we have to have Rainbow Dash, we have to have Fluttershy, we have to have enough Twilight. And with the new addition of Starlight, it's like, how many characters can get enough screen time? Like, I always have to establish.
Yeah, they've done that ever since day one.
But the more characters they add onto the show, it's like, well, we have to be fair to all the characters, especially with the finales, because it's so epic. Who and what will get enough screen time.
That's true.
He does have a point. There were a lot of people they were trying to focus on in one
They
episode.
had at least I think they had at least 15 characters, 16 characters in
Yeah,
Shadowblade.
you know, it's like,
Oh, but
and
That's
yeah,
actually,
best
I think
thing-
that episode is actually the one with the highest character count of all, to be honest.
You know how many characters that were focused on in this episode? Pretty much the amount of characters you see on this thumbnail.
pretty much,
much.
yeah, pretty much, you know.
Let's see,
like-
6 main characters, well, it's actually 7 main characters. No,
Mhm.
8 main characters, because Spike, of course. Plus
Yeah.
6 pillars.
That's 14.
Yeah. So 14
and
Characters.
15 if you
And
include the villain.
Sunburst. Forgot
And-
Sunburst.
and
Oh
Sun-
yeah, and Sunburst. And
And
if we would count Stygian, aka Shadow Pony, that's
Mhm.
16.
See, so 16 characters, a two-parter. It's kind of, you know, warped in a way. It's like, oh my God, it must be nerve-wracking for the writers to write the scripts, especially when it's a finale.
That's probably why they chose Josh Haber, because he can do that job well.
He can do the job well. He has
Actually-
done amazing.
Actually, 16 characters, that's even more in the than in the movie. And even in the movie didn't do really well for introducing and expanding on all the characters.
With the exception
Yeah.
of
They
Tempest.
didn't really.
With
The
the,
movie was longer.
with the exception of Tempest, yeah.
Well,
Mm.
pretty much. And maybe, arguably, Capper.
But,
Kinda, sorta, not quite.
we'll get to that.
That's something else entirely.
We'll get to that in the
But
future.
we're getting into movie spoilers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I still haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. So.
Spoilers.
So keep it on the download on the movie part. But no, actually, I did not have any problem with the finale. It was actually a very good, wonderful episode.
Mm. I
Mm.
can see what you mean.
Yeah, it was.
Alright, so that's it for the negatives, I believe. So, on to our positives then, shall we?
Alright.
Okay.
David,
Go
you
for
first.
it.
Okay. My positive. Oh, what was that?
That's
It's your-
all.
Okay, looks like you have to wait with your positives.
Oh yeah. Alright, our Spike showed up, Mr. Elite Yoshi. Say hello.
About freaking time. We're about to move to the positives.
Now he can be the last for negative.
Oh. Alright, well, what have you guys talked about so far for negatives?
Nitpicks.
Just
And Star
nitpicks?
Well,
Generally.
Yeah, I think a lot of my negatives are probably the same as yours, but if there is one nitpick I have, it would probably be that the plot kind of got predictable around the middle of part one.
yeah, I can see where you're coming from. It's like,
Well,
No,
part
because
one
when
was-
I saw the second, from the second that backstory was showed, and I'm Twilight going, oh, I know what's gonna happen. She's gonna end up unleashing the Pony of Shadows also.
Yeah, on that part I agree with you. I pretty much
mean,
predicted right away that will also release the Pony of Shadow as well.
Yeah,
It's like, come on, Twilight, you're the smartest one in your group. You should have saw that coming.
Yeah, but she was also
And that comes
friendly.
from our Spike of the group, everybody.
Yeah, right? I was gonna say, you'd think he would be praising her.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Starlight was the smart one here. Starlight was,
Best Pony.
Starlight
You know
was,
what?
Starlight was the
Mhm,
smart
go ahead.
one there. She was the one that keeps suggesting, Twilight, are you sure this is a good idea?
She was the only one who knew that this is not a good idea.
And that was coming from
Yeah,
personal
pretty much.
experience. And
You know what Twilight needed in the first part? A bucket of cold water to stop her fangirling.
Well, come on. I mean, this is the very first time that Star Swirl actually made a real appearance. So you blame Twilight for fangirling and forgetting. Oh wait, I gotta focus here.
I
I gotta
don't.
focus on the task at hand. But I'm fangirling too much.
Yeah, but fangirling is not an excuse of logic or to cast
Yeah,
away
I
logical
know,
thinking.
That's understandable. And Starlight stepped up like she does, and Twilight was like, "Oh, yeah, thank you."
Whoops. Oops.
Dude, I made a dum dum, you know.
I'm glad you came to that conclusion, Twilight.
Regardless of a stupid moments, her fangirlism is still
We
adorable.
all have our stupid moments where we fangirl and we forget the task at hand.
Yeah, yes.
But,
I've had that problem.
but you gotta admit one thing. Despite the idiotic moments in the episode, her fangirlism is still adorable.
Yeah.
Come on, that's so cute. She fangirls so good.
And she really was adorable.
Adorable.
Yeah,
She's pancake princess.
Non-stick hands?
Yeah, and I have to say that one moment in the second part when Starstone actually said nice thing to Twilight for the first time, and she got this face like, "Senpai noticed me."
I know. Exactly what I'm saying.
Starstone Senpai.
Oh god.
Oh God, what have we started now?
Oh my.
Oh boy.
The world
Sorry,
never.
not sorry.
Anyways, you got anything else, Yoshi?
Well, you want me to list my positive, right?
Yup.
Yep, we'll
Yeah.
get to that now.
Well,
Yeah.
if that, it's definitely Starlight. That's a taken. I mean, you really got a feel for her in this episode. I mean, between the constant putting down by Star Swirl and then, constantly having to be the voice of reason. I mean, she knew that this wasn't a good idea, but yeah, she was forced to go along with it just so Twilight could meet Star Swirl.
And she was the only one who figured out that casting Pony of Shadows to Limbo might not be the only solution.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not only that, but you know what? I'm glad that when Twilight was getting put down, someone called that the rest of her friends called out Star Swirl on it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was well needed.
Yeah,
That was really
somebody
fun.
needed to, and I'm saying yes, thank you. Because if that scene hadn't happened, that would have probably negatively affected my feelings on the episode.
Hmm.
Ooh, I said something right.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that.
Mm.
You got anything else, Yoshi?
No, not really. I'm pretty sure you all talked about everything else that was great about the episode.
Actually,
Well,
we did
actually,
negative.
now we are going into positives, and thanks to you, I have one less positive on my list to cover. Thank you. Also, best pony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here. I have one less positive to cover too. But that's not gonna be my main focus. But besides the point. So, yeah, David, you're up.
Okay, positives. Wow, where do I start? So many great things that happened in this episode that I'm so proud of. We've got to see so many characters in this episode, which is a positive for me. I say that as a negative and a positive. It's hard to cut a line through that,
Sure.
It's amazing. Like, I love the finales. I really do. I mean, no offense to the premieres, but the finales are so amazing because they wrap things up in a tight little bow, It's like that chapter of this story arc is done. We can move on.
Mm.
And in this season 7 finale, they've done just as well as I thought they would have done. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I would take a risk and say this finale was even more epic than season 6 finale.
Exactly.
Or the season 4 finale.
Yeah, see, every finale
Sorry.
outdoes the last one. But we cannot forget that the other finales were just as good, but maybe they just continue to do that fine adjustment.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So season 8 premiere, which I'm not going to say anything, will probably continue that great legacy that we have so far of friendship and magic.
One can only know when we see it.
Mm-hmm. So, I think this episode finale was pretty good. Yeah, that's my positive.
Scapegoat?
My positive is that there's finally some explanation a bit behind the Tree of Harmony in the map.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
Yeah, see?
Finally, Lord behind Tree of Harmony, and also they dropped down the whole theory about the Star Wars being Discord. Thank you for that.
Took us 3 seasons.
Yeah, now KP can sleep happy.
Meanwhile, then Brony Notion, he's sobbing in the corner.
No.
Shots fired.
Ouch.
Continue.
It was just nice to see how kind of it felt like how the pillars passed their mantle onto the others, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
an interesting thing to see.
Yeah,
There's heroes from the past and heroes to the present that someone's always watching over the place.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a headcanon that the main 6 are descendants of the Legends of Equestria. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a headcanon.
Well, technically, it is kind of true now.
Yeah.
At least from the standpoint of the tree and everything.
Yeah, from the Elements of Harmony's perspective, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can very much see that. And when that was explained and everything, I think, okay, it did confirm that Star Wars technically created the Elements of Harmony. That's confirmed. Which I always theorized. And I also love the names of the original elements that was bestowed upon the Legends of Equestria. It really does tie into the current elements, and I was like, you know what, that's actually very clever.
Sort of like how laughter brings out hope.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought that was very clever.
You know, and that's what tells me a good thing about this, is that the writers have so much cleverness when they really put down on the piece of paper and they give us pure epicness.
You got anything else, Scapegoat?
That was my positive.
Alright, go ahead, take it away, Sharpwood.
Oh dear, where do I start? So many positives, even though 2 of them are even already taken.
Hey,
Mine.
take
mine. I'll
join the club.
Okay.
It's not the first time it happened.
I need to slide through the episode once again. Right now, like, quite fast.
44 minutes later.
Looney.
Anyway, okay, I will say this right now. There are many positives because I have to pick one. The map actually have a use, and it's actually a good use.
Yeah, it broke. Anyways.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I also love how they put it. Yeah, don't mind the background noise, but anyways.
Doggy was the positive.
Oh, haha. Anyways, I also love that little continuity nod when each of the main 6 keymarks got on the map to that location. I was like, you know, that hasn't happened since we took a trip to Starlight's Village.
Okay, actually, that's a good, good. Should be my positive. So many continuity nods in this episode, starting from the pretty much very intro scene.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, which was foreshadowed in Uncommon Bond, when we saw the book in the end.
Yeah,
that's true.
We all know.
And pretty much this whole using of the Starlight's past as an example of how wrong Star Wars was.
Exactly.
That was
and not to mention they
point.
canonized Equestria.
Oh yeah, the freaking sirens.
I can't believe I saw them. I was just like, wait, I know those 3.
You should see my reaction to, like, I wasn't told to now, like, okay, my eyes are totally playing tricks on me.
Okay, I had to look away.
My life was a lie!
Like, what the fudge?
Equestria girls confirmed canon.
Now I won't get away from that. They will be picking on me, all the fans that that were
So,
paying attention to me saying that all the Equestria girls are not canon, they will be picking on me right now. Ah!
Oh, no,
so,
we got Shadow Play as proof.
so, by that logic, that means Sunset Shimmer coming into a question might seem more possible.
If they keep. Oh my
He's
god,
right.
okay.
Things that might
Now
show
we
up
lost
as-
him. Now we lost him.
Season 8 finale confirmed.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay.
Sharp,
Okay.
calm down there.
I am. I mean, come on, I'm not the Twilight to be fangirling.
Aha. Hard
Oh,
to believe that,
wait.
actually.
No, I don't know if that's true or not, but
Oh, wait. Right. I am the Twilight of this group.
Anyways, you got anything else, Sharp with?
No.
You guys.
Alright, go ahead, Crimson.
Hope we didn't break you.
Whenever you're ready, Crimson.
Wait, what?
Positive for you.
It's your cue.
Your turn.
Earth to
Alright.
Crimson, hello. Come on, Crimson, you can do it.
Alright, for my positive for this one. Well, Starlight, actually. Because throughout all the situations that was going down, Starlight knew that she could have talked to Twilight about this situation. Because she kind of might have a plan or a solution for it. She even could have talked to Starburst. Not Starburst, Sunburst. God, now I need that candy.
Okay. See,
That's a ship. That's a ship.
Starburst shipper. Aha.
Now it all came out. It is all out now.
oh my god.
There's a new song.
Yeah, that's okay. I shipped them too.
Continue, Crimson.
Starburst was a candy.
Continue.
Alright, yeah. I feel as though Starlight would have made a better decision than what Twilight did, which was kind of the way how she wanted to see her idol again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there could have been another alternative way to bring them back without bringing the shadow of who was Stygian.
That's doubtful.
Hey, it's either having a question taken over by the shadows or darkness, however it goes, or Twilight just having to lead the way the situation is that Star Swirl and them did.
Fair point.
But all in all, they managed to work something out.
Yep.
And Starlight actually told the Stygian that if any pony can help you with friendship, it's Twilight.
And that was coming from personal experience, which adds a lot more weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, say what you want about Starlight, she was the perfect fit for this episode.
Indeed.
No, I can't look back at this episode and think that, without Starlight,
Exactly.
I'm like, being a misfortune.
Looney, are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, good points were made here and there, done well, and the episode turned out a lot better how we all expected for a season finale.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got anything else?
That's all I have. Bless the heart and sweet Celestia. It's good to have Star Swirl and everyone else that was mentioned in the legends. It's good to have them back.
Yeah, if you want to be technical.
I wish to see them more back in the season 8.
Me too.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
So, Looney, you're up.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yep.
Where do I even start? Everything about this episode is epic.
Exactly my point.
But there's one part that really stands out in my mind. It's got to be the ending. Starting when everybody confronts the Pony of Shadows and Twilight knows there's another pony inside, just before he's nearly banished. I was moved to tears by Twilight's speech to Stygian about how he never desired power but friendship.
Yeah,
And the scene that follows afterward, the
that was well executed.
scene that follows afterward when they struggle to center free from the darkness was better than any villain takedown I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Finally, Starsword, Twilight's idol since day one, learned a valuable lesson about friendship from Twilight.
And
It
that's
doesn't come any more full circle than that.
Yeah, exactly.
And Looney, I'm actually going to expand upon that once it gets to my turn. Because I have a lot more to say about that particular moment.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll leave it there then.
Leon?
I don't want to steal what you have to say there.
Alright. Leon?
Well then. Whew. To be honest, I actually have 2 positives, so it's kind of like a split decision for me right now.
Throw the money. Throw the coin.
Yeah, toss a coin.
Toss it now. Go. Do it.
Coin toss. Initiate.
Well, I guess I'm going with the not so predictable. If you remember my previous comments I had for some of the episodes. But for me, I think, for me personally, was actually the shadow being itself. The entire concept of that villain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the Pony of Shadows. I mean, I thought that was an interesting villain.
Because it wasn't actually a pony in that way. It was a sentient being controlling Stygian. And the whole idea and concept of this quelling, that little bit in your mind, that calling in if you have a slight doubt about what you've done, or for if you have friends and you have that one moment where you think, I'm not important anymore. The whole concept behind it and the interpretation in this episode, that is actually what I find so interesting for this finale.
Well,
about that whole part, the sentient being controlling the Stygian, it's actually not the first time we've seen something like that.
Exactly, and that's why, because it actually shows that it's not entirely the one kind of stuck in the situation is the fault of it.
Right.
Completely, at least.
As for the Pony of Shadow itself, I'm 50-50 because I also see the point of those who are saying that that's actually one of the weaker villain in the show.
It kind of.
You would be actually surprised. I actually think that's so far my favorite villain. To be honest, it is.
I mean, the Pony of Shadows is not the best villain in MLP, but I will admit that the Pony of Shadows was an interesting villain.
Now you've got that Goblin problem.
No, but to be honest, actually, I actually felt that this shadow being, I was actually a legitimate threat. Not gonna lie, I had the feeling to take this somewhat villain being seriously. I mean, let's face it, how often do you have in any sort of media or anything that a villain is that intimidating in the presentation that you have legitimate respect of that as well?
Yep. Oh, yeah, Disney has been masterful at that.
Oh man, it's been called and called again.
Exactly. Yep. And sorry if I have to bring that up again, but if I compare this villain and the Storm King from the released movie, those two are more threatening, in my opinion, than the final boss of the recent Destiny 2, and that says something.
Wow, that's quite a stretch.
Well, what about King Sombra?
Yeah, underwhelming. You could.
I mean, would you say he's more? No, I'm
Exactly,
saying, would you
that's-
think he's more imitating than King Sombra?
I say
In
so.
a way, yes, because Sombra's case, he was more brainwashed. It was only a shallow, it was only a shell of itself.
Mm-hmm.
While the shadow being in this episode, it was a little bit more cunning. It was exactly feeding off the negative emotions. He knows the weak spots.
Yep.
It's technically, I would even go as far that this being would be very well capable of doing an exact duplicate to doubting yourself.
Yep.
The equivalent, if I'm referencing another game, like Dark Link.
Yes.
Mm.
And that's
Okay.
why I respect this villain, just because of the fact
Still,
how it's presented.
still, to be honest, Storm King actually did better when he was presented in the movie than Pony of Shadow when he was in the finale. Because what exactly Pony of Shadow did besides destroying that pawn hench?
Pretty much nothing.
Not much.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree on that
Storm
one. I
King
agree
at
on
least
that
almost
one.
destroyed Canterlot with this thunder and storm.
Born in the future.
Yeah, but still.
Nobody spoilers.
Well, that's actually a little bit of a split here, guys, because for
Yeah,
the
there's
shadow
a split, but
for the shadow pony, we don't actually know about anything of the past of this being, how it's created, or anything, or what it had caused before. While with the Storm King, we know what he's done, but I guess from those who saw the movie know what he did once he got the power, how he reacted to it.
Well, what I was trying to say was that, well, do you think maybe that it's possible that the Pony of Shadows was ended up getting unleashed, during the time that Starlight tried going back in time? Do you think it's possible he would have been a more legitimate threat?
I believe so.
It could been. Actually, it could been.
Yeah, I believe
But
so.
since they probably never got the concept of Pony of Shadows before that is a big maybe. Because it's not
True.
good to assume that the last future was the Pony of Shadow, because if that would be Pony of Shadow, that would be Eternal Darkness, not the Wasteland.
Yeah, it'll be pretty
Wasteland
much.
is
Yeah, it'll be pretty
Wasteland is Wasteland is more fitting to, I don't know, Daybreaker.
Well, we can't tell that for sure, can we?
No, we
Well,
can't. But
it's
I
more
see
possible.
your point.
I kind of think the Wasteland will be more fitting for Tilrak, but that's just me.
Hmm.
I was actually thinking about it for Equestria, but that would be far of a stretch.
Not canon.
Anyway, yeah, that's a good question there, Yoshi. That's a good question.
Actually, if you think about it, that would probably be quite similar to a Nightmare Moon, but he will be more of a tyrant than a Nightmare Moon, because they both want darkness, but Nightmare Moon wants eternal night. Pony of Shadow wants darkness itself.
Hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you got anything else, Neon?
No, that would be everything.
Alright, go ahead, Drizzle.
Oops.
Well, mine's probably more of a follow-up to Neon's at this point, but mine was the appearance of the Pony of Shadows. Despite being evil, he kind of looked, not so harmless. It gave off the feeling that he was good on the inside after all.
I think it came down to his voice, if that's the case.
Yep.
Like, if you look at people like Chrysalis and Nightmare Moon, they gave off sort of a menacing vibe, but he doesn't really give off that appearance.
Chrysalis was more menacing in Canterlot Wedding instead of the to wear back again. Maybe because of the lack of voice modulator in the season 6 finale.
Yeah, but that,
and she was even more menacing in that Polish dub.
Yeah, right?
but
We're
Glad
not
I have some
counting
Polish now.
dubs.
anyways,
You're scary because you're speaking in a different language.
continue,
Who, me?
continue, Drizzle.
Well, I mean, and in the ending where they actually confirm that it was just a misunderstanding, it's always nice to have a nice resolve.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Appearances
I
aren't
think
everything, after all.
Yeah, I
I've
think
made friends with a
to
lot of
add on
people
to
lately.
that,
Mm-hmm.
Drizzle, is that the Pony of Shadows was kind of like a misguided entity.
Yeah,
That's true.
like a spirit who got lost and is just looking for a way to be found.
Again,
It's like I was saying, he wasn't searching for power, he just searched for friendship.
Yeah,
again, vocal had to build new for the voice.
yeah, excellent performance.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think that's the first time one voice actor did the 3 roles in one season.
I can't believe that. That's incredible.
And,
Yeah, he was-
and all of them
you're
are
right.
incredible.
There was White Mac in the
actually
public
true.
pair, he was
Phalanx and to
going
change
to
Phalanx.
change a changeling, and Pony of Shadows, and this one.
And he
And
was also the
Stygian.
voice of my cereal commercial. Just kidding.
What was the last one? What was the last one?
Corner.
Oh my god.
Corner. Now.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it.
I don't think the corner's gonna do anything because last time someone says that, they say no. Still gonna say no.
Get in the corner.
No.
Anyways, you got anything else, Drizzle?
No, I think that's it. It's up to you now, Venomous Pie.
Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh, I've been saving this for a while now. All the positives you guys already said. You know, Starlight was fantastic. She is
Nice pony.
well, she is
Why,
actually,
thank you.
she is actually becoming one of my favorite characters now. Yeah, I officially like Starlight Glimmer, even though in the past she's been very hit or miss for me. I can safely say I love Starlight Glimmer now.
Yes, come to the Glim side.
But yeah, anyway, Starlight Glimmer was great. Seeing the Legends of Equestria was great. The entire storyline for that finale was fantastic. But what really got to me, and it legitimately had a tear in my eye, was the very last scene where Starsworld sees Celestia and Luna.
Yeah.
That
true.
entire scene left me in tears. Because
Aww.
most of it, okay, first off, Starsworld seeing Celestia and Luna again was a real treat. Even Celestia said that they both have very fond memories of his teachings.
Mhm.
And it was emphasized by their interactions. But here's what really got to me. Starsworld giving praise to Twilight for teaching him the values of the magic of friendship. And I'm gonna say this right now. This is probably my new favorite episode to date. Not only because of it is a fantastic finale and my new favorite two-parter. Sorry, Princess Whitesparkle. But but also shows what the show is meant to be. It tells me it's because of what it represents. It represents how far each of these characters have been growing since 7 seasons. It feels like everything has come full circle. Twilight's character arc has come full circle. Starlight has come full circle. Even to the point where Twilight gave praise to Starlight for making her see what's already there. She even said that she thinks that being her idol would give her the answers she needed, but she actually forgot that they were right there. It's a good thing that she has a student like Starlight to remind her.
And that is a very excellent lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything just came full circle. Their arcs are not complete. What I'm concerned about is, especially, we know that season 8 is on the horizon. Where can you go with this?
I said that before in season 6 finale. You see where did we end up? In even better episode.
But to be frank, the ending of season 6 finale was kind of underwhelming. But this one, however, how can you possibly top this?
I don't know.
When there's one thing that I thought when Stars will praise Twilight for teaching her something, and then I was like, Ha! Who's the mentor now, Star Swirl?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
That's
everything just came full circle to me, and it actually
Yeah.
made me cry because that shows me how far the show has gone over 7 seasons. Look where it is now compared to how it was in the past.
exactly.
Another
Exactly.
funny bit I can remember.
It really took.
Luna and Celestia asking if they still owe him the homework.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
1,000 years
Nice
after the
one.
fact that they still remember that?
Yeah,
Jeez.
that was legitimately funny. But
Yeah,
And
anyway,
yet they don't remember that they've much about Crystal Empire or who defeated the Sombra, even though the showcase showed their shadows.
yeah, that's
I hope
true.
they have a get out of homework free card because they're 1,000 years late on it.
Nice. But anyways, back to what I was saying. It really shows me how far the show has come. Like, I feel like everything at this point has come pretty much full circle. If the show ended right here with this episode, it would be the perfect ending. Because everything has come full circle. I mean, Twilight's arc has come full circle. Starlight as a character has as well as her redemption, if you think about it, has come full circle. Everything just went full circle, and I'm very, since I know that season 8 is on the horizon, I'm very curious of where this will go.
To be frank, we've heard that line many times after every season finale that this and this character arc went full circle, and yet they are coming up with another arc.
Actually,
We shouldn't jump the gun right now.
Actually, Sharpwood, the only time I ever heard someone say that was after the season 3 finale and after the season 4 finale. That was it.
That's enough.
All the rest of them were either okay, I'm anticipating a new season, or in the case of Cantaloupe Wedding, it's like, oh, I can't wait to what this is going. When it comes to Key Remark and to When I'm Back Again, it was just meh.
I was actually highly intrigued after the season 5 finale.
But anyways, yeah, I'm very curious to see where this goes. Like, how can you top something like this? I am very curious to know.
Knowing these writers, they'll come up with something.
Come on, jinx it more. And more we jinx it, better if the next episode will be.
After all, they get their inspiration from fans.
Somewhat, yeah. But
Somewhat, I think we do drive the episodes a little bit, you know?
yeah. But
Slice of life, anyone?
No, no slice of life. I don't want a slice of toast either.
That's not what I meant.
Hey, we need a slice of pie. Or
No.
pancakes.
No slice
God.
of pie.
The implications.
I just gave the writers an episode idea.
Anyways,
Oh God.
anyways, we might as well move on to our final ratings. So, Yoshi, what would you give the episode out of 5?
Well, there is one thing that you are right about, though. Having these characters from the past having these characters who were stuck in limbo come back for one episode. Yeah, you ain't gonna tell me that they're only gonna be coming for one episode. I have a feeling that we'll be seeing them again sometime in the future.
I have a good feeling about that too.
Just like another confirmed rumor of characters return from stuff we've already seen that will return for season 8.
Which we'll not say here.
Spoilers.
No spoilers.
Yeah. But yeah, the final thoughts. Honestly, I will admit that some of the previous finales we had were a bit lackluster, like with what we had from season 5. Season 6, while it was pretty good, yeah, there were some plot holes that were never explained, and a lot of people were right to complain about them. But with this one actually is probably the best finale that we've had since Twilight's Kingdom, and I'm dead serious when I say that.
Yeah, so,
Nothing wrong with that.
Welcome to the club,
Yeah.
mate.
Yeah.
I think we all can agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yep, I can definitely say that although I will admit that the plot did go down a bit of a predictable route, that's more of a nitpick than anything, so I'm not going to hold it against this episode. So if I had to give it a final rating, it's probably going to be a 5 out of 5.
5. Sweet. Alright, David?
Yeah, this finale was absolutely amazing. So, my rating is 5 out of 5.
Oh, what's on the trend here? Alright, Scapegoat?
5 out of 5.
See what?
Sounded pretty interesting.
See what do I tell ya?
Oh, wait, I have a question. 5
What?
out of 5. Is that a question? I don't know. Rating. Dude, that's my rating. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, push.
Chocolate?
Can I give 11? No? Okay, let's have it 5.
Oh, you just broke me.
Oh my goodness. Crimson?
I have two number 9. Oh wait, no wait, we're not ordering. That's gonna be a 5. So yeah, shout out to you, Daniel. You're welcome.
Yeah, 5.
You know what? Maybe we should make it easy. Who here is not going to give a 5?
I am.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
Okay, so what rating will you give to this episode?
Me? Oh,
Yeah, because only you raised hand.
okay. I was gonna do 4.5 out of 5. I enjoyed the episode quite a bit, and I didn't find much wrong with it. But I definitely found that there were a few other episodes that left me like, oh my god, at the end of it. Like I was like flipping, like I was like a little kid in a candy store.
Well, I'm a sucker for lore, so that episode left a big impact on me for so much lore and explanation of the things that fans were theorizing for years.
Yeah,
I can name one episode that left a huge impact on
I can name several.
Hopefully you don't do it. Hopefully you haven't done any of those yet.
But, Looney?
5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I think everyone besides Drizzle are going to give 5 out of 5.
Well, yeah, well, maybe, but it still can't hurt to give the others input. Just to be fair.
I just wanted to get out of the way.
Yeah, I know. Neon?
Definitely 5 out of 5. Legendary. With a badass dragon seal of approval.
Yep.
You totally didn't took that from Angry Joe, right?
Yes.
Well, we've got the dragon's approval.
Legendaries.
Yeah, but
Rip off.
Love it.
But I have to say still, this episode made everything, that finale made everything right. Especially from the more adventurous tone, which I'm really have missing in a few of episodes lately.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming
And-
from.
If they keep that note, then we are one hell of a season for next time.
Oh,
Especially if we consistently see how good the episodes were before of that.
yeah, I agree.
So I tip my hat. That was really the best finale so far.
Mm,
I'm highly intrigued by how the pillars will play a role in the Chris revenue.
indeed. Okay.
You know what, Wish Kid? I'm going to make that an actual score.
Dragon
Screw
seal
you.
of approval. Anyways, as for me, okay, did it slip out of the tongue that this is my new favorite episode of the series?
Yes,
Yeah,
you've said
times.
that a couple times already.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely 5 out of 5 for me. This episode just pretty much everything worked in the episode. This finale did everything right for me. The story was well paced, even though it was a tad rushed at times. Seeing the Legends of Equestria again were absolutely wonderful. Equestria Ghost is still canon. Sorry, Shopwreck.
That's and at the same time.
Some say they could hear him screaming all the way from Equestria.
Still scream from all
Are
the
you
way
trying
from...
to turn me into the Stig?
And not to mention,
No,
Is that
no.
what I heard when I was taking a shower?
and
Wait, did you ask if you turn you into a steak?
anyways,
Stig, like Stig from Top Gear, mate.
Okay,
anyways,
sorry, you cut it out there for a second. I wanted to be sure.
anyways, if I continue,
Go ahead.
Thank you. Like, and also a baby love star like Glimmer, she is going up on my favorites list. Like, even though in the past, she used to be like very hit or miss for me. Like, it usually depends on the episode. Sometimes I like her, sometimes I don't. But this episode really confirms how far she's come as a character, and I love Starlight for that. And I love this episode because of that. So, yeah. I really can't say anything else about this episode except it's awesome. Great ending to
Yes.
otherwise
Join the Glimglab side of the Force.
Hey, that's what I said.
Wait, what force?
So yeah, the overall crew rating for the season 7 finale, it shouldn't come as any surprise at all. It's a 5 out of 5.
No surprise. So, before we go offline, I may have the side question for all of us. Favorite pillar?
Oh,
Caught me off guard.
Favorite pillar, favorite Legend of Equestria. Okay.
Not actually more of a character itself than the legend.
That's what I meant.
Because for me, I think this is actually gonna be Somnambula. The introduction of her, the episode that introduced her was too weak to say lightly, but her legend and herself, I like her.
Yeah, Somnambula is my favorite too.
Yes, please. Most of Nebula in Season 8.
Synapula is my favorite too.
Yeah.
For me, it's actually a split between Sonapula and Steelhoof.
Rockhoof.
Rockhoof.
Sorry. That. Close enough.
Interesting.
No,
Sorry.
it's not.
Hey, it's both minerals, so shut up.
No, steel is a metal, rock is a mineral. Learn the bloody thing.
Okay, when are we? We're talking about Mod Pie now.
And
Why is every pony talking about me?
anyways, yeah, but before we go, I believe Drizzle here has a message.
Oh, is it so?
Yeah.
Anyways, I have one last thing to say, but the real positive was you all watching this series with me. I'm pretty happy I was able to do this with y'all. I look forward to the many fun times we'll have in Season 8. You all are like a family to me, and I'd do anything for any of you.
Same for you, Drizzle, buddy.
Drizzle, I want to personally thank you for joining us on this podcast. I mean, this has been a real eye-opener for us because we've been waiting for this day. I'm pretty sure you have too.
Yeah, about a month now. I've been practicing at work all week.
You know. So I don't know. Like Ven, I think we should give Drizzle a round of applause.
I think so too.
Well, definitely.
You can't see it, but my face is red, and it's not just because I'm blushing. It's because my car is very hot without the AC turned on.
Oops.
So on that note, thank you all so much for watching. This is not only we covered the season 7 finale. This is our own season finale. So there will be 2 more podcasts coming your way. One for a Halloween special and another for basically our final thoughts on season 7 as a whole. Where we talk about our favorites and least favorites for the season. But after that, once that's over, we'll be taking a small break. So that being said, I will see you all later. Peace out, everyone.
Farewell, everybody.
And
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you later.
Look at this
Bye. Next time.
photograph.
So,
Every time it doesn't make me laugh.
so long, everyone, and here's to season 7. Another good season in the bag.
It was fun while it lasted.
Aw.